tell me when you're ready, right? Ready? Okay. All right. Let's go, Chabra. Oh, Bishmael, Hashem is there. And we will start this in the middle of the second section on page Kul Beis. We'll start in the line that begins with Moshe bin Shomis. Approximately exactly in the middle, maybe a little bit higher. Tziyin, as we said, Tziyin is a marker, which means this is not really a separate Metzius. It's identified within the divine truth. And this is what the Rebbe says, Yikir ho'elakus ben shomis. This is the principle of Elokus that's in the shomis. Dal shomzen nikra, I'm in parentheses, okay, so we know exactly where. Dal shomzen nikra Yisrael sar keil. This is why Yidden are called Yisrael, which is a put together of two words, sar keil. Sar means the master or the officer of keil, of God, which means it's a divine officer. This is present exclusively in the Neshamas Yisrael. Everything they create, everything the divine existence, from the highest and the lowest. But the Rebbe created it, and he gave it its due of highest or whatever it is. Israel is a different kind of creation. Israel is not a creation. Israel is the Mebish's presence itself in the created world. And thus this is Neshamas Yisrael is Eidus v'Simen Alei Yisrael v'Asosu Monan Le'elam. Neshamas Yisrael are Eidus, and testimonial. Again, he says Simen. They don't have to testify, because by their very presence, it's identified. As Simen, it's a pointer to Ein Yisrael Asosu Monan, to Ein Yisrael, the concealed Ein Yisrael. The Misham, from their Sheresh Inyan, Rusa de Liba. This is where the Inyan of Rusa de Liba is rooted. As we discussed a little bit briefly, Rusa de Liba means the plain desire of the heart. There is no reasoning to it, there is no basis to it, there is nothing that arouses it. This is what the heart stands for. This is what it strives to. And then, as a result, and through the process of the Rusa de Liba, Mizgal Bechinas in itself Asosuf is revealed. This Bechina, what's called Ein Yisrael Asosum, the very concealed Ein Yisrael. The Ein Yisrael that remains concealed, that is the underlying reality of the Ein Yisrael, that is identified, recognized as a result of Rusa de Liba. There is no explanation for Rusa de Liba. There is no experience in Rusa de Liba. This is the Ein Yisrael Asosum. Rusa de Liba is, so to speak, is an identifier of Ein Yisrael Asosum. And regarding this, and pointing to this Rusa de Liba, this is what it says, Tziyon b'mishpati podem. That Tziyon will be redeemed with mishpat. With mishpat. What does redeemed mean? That Tziyon will be drawn out and revealed as a result of mishpat. What is the significance of this? The Tziyon zeho b'chinas Rusa de Liba. Which means that, because as we said before, Tziyon, this is the Bechina of Rusa de Liba, Shulamayla Mitamadas, which is above Tamadas. But me make a broch.
Sorry, you started the show by saying Tion is a marker of what? I couldn't understand.
Oyer Sof. Arousal the Liba.
So Tion is a marker of Arousal?
Yeah. Tion Zaho Bechina Arousal the Liba. This is the Bechina. Again, as we point out all the time, whenever the word Bechina is used when there is not a concrete presence. There's not a tangible presence that you can identify and define. This is the Bechina. This is how it presents itself, how you see it. And the reason you see it this way is because you see something that you can't explain. Where does this come from? What is this about? This is the Bechina Shel Yusuf Believing. Shelamayla Mitam B'das, which is above Tam B'das. Let's talk about slightly in a moment this expression. Lamayla Mitam B'das. Lamayla Mitam B'das in translation means above, reason and knowledge. Pardon me. So, above reason and knowledge means in effect, everything in the world came to be via some kind of a process, some kind of a cause. This cause, no matter how subtle and how spiritual and refined it is, this you can be referred to the reason and to the knowledge of what this is about. There is something to know. L'mayla mitam b'das means that this is mitam b'das. This means it did not come to be. There is no process via which it came to be. There is no source for it. Mitam b'das. This is Rerusa Deliba, which is above Tam B'das. There is no explanation whatsoever for this for this pointer. And the Pasuk says, Tzion, which is the Rerusa, as you explained, which is the Rerusa Deliba, that exists in the heart of Yidden, which is L'mayla Mitam B'das. Hine, behold, big day, love elozeh, in order to come to this Tzion. How do you come to this Tzion? There is no tangible means, there is no handle to it. How do you come to this? Ahu alidei ha-mishpot, be-mishpot yipol. It is revealed, redeemed, brought forth alidei ha-mishpot, to the mishpot. What is mishpot? The mishpot hu sheba b'seidem hadrog. Mishpot is that. Mishpot means judgment. Judgment means that every step is judged what is next. And How do you proceed from here to the next step? This is mishpat. This means beseder hadod, in some kind of order and gradually. V'hainu, which means v'hainu, and that is referring to the ho'e pnimi. This is referring to the ho'e pnimi. Oil pnimi. I think we already discussed a bit before. Oil pnimi means internalizable oil. An oil that seeks to be internalized. Which means it is an oil, as we said before, it's mislabish in keli. It fits into keli. That's the pnimi. Like we gave our very simple illustration. What is a keli? The water that's in the cup. Now the water that's in the lake, or in the ocean, or in the wellspring, is much more significant, much more powerful, much more fundamental than the water in the cup. And yet, it is the water in the cup that is identifiable in real terms of what water is. Water in the lake can flow incessantly and endlessly. Water in the cup is that which brings life. Water in a cup has a completely different significance than the water in the lake. You can enjoy the water in the lake, but it won't bring you to life. It won't revive you from faint. On the contrary, you have to be careful. It could be too much, it could be overwhelming. Water in the cup. This water represents the true and the full significance and power of the water. One sip of water from the cup is worth more than the whole lake. This is the principle of mishpat. The mishpat this is called oy pnimi. Oy pnimi means you're not looking at things in their generalized and overall presence. The full power of water. You're looking at the water, oy pnimi. What can be internalized? That's what oy pnimi. Now, this internalization, let's think for a moment. This really requires our thinking cap. Where is this internalization rooted? If you look at the world, you would see the opposite. A lake, a flow of water, a waterfall. This is a powerful thing. This is a real worldly presence. What's the water in a cup? It has no power, so to speak, in the scheme of the worldly scheme. And yet this is what we're pointing out, this is what the significance of water. This is the tzion. This refers to not a worldly presence, but the divine presence in the world. And as we said yesterday, the divine presence in the world, we're not talking about godly, so to speak, a fine thing. We're talking about God. Who can create a living human being? As the Torah describes, when he came to creating the human being, he was not created by just a simple command like all the other beasts were created. He was created piece by piece. First the body was formed, and then his neshama was blown into him, and then he was given commands. It's a completely different creature. It's a creature that carries the stamp of his creator. Even to the extent, as we pointed out, it's an interesting thing to contemplate. There is not a mention in the Torah of the entire creation, of thinking about the creation prior to its being created. Plan, I want to create. There's no mention. Maybe we should create, maybe we should not create. There's no mention whatsoever. Because the whole creation begins from the creation point. The human being begins from the planning stage. Na'aseh Odom, let us make man. Because he represents something which is higher than world. Therefore, he begins from a planning stage. The world does not solicit the existence of man, and the world doesn't understand it. What is this guy doing over here? Doesn't have, so to speak, worldly presence. He's not even interested in what we're interested in. We're roaming the fields, we're running around, we're going up and down the ocean. What is man about? This mishpat quality in man, this is representative, and this is the simon, so to speak. This is the tzion for his creator. He does things in a planned and preconceived way, because his existence is preconceived. He's not a reactive being within the world of the context. He's a preconceived, he's a planned entity. This is mishpati pod. This is what oy pnimi. The mishpat, okay. The mishpat who sheba b'seder hadog. Mishpat is that which comes b'seder hadog in an order and gradual. Hainu, what is that referred to? The b'ha'oy pnimi. This is present, impossible only oy pnimi, because oy pnimi has all the various madrigas. It starts from a preconceived, pre-existent level. It is planned for, and then it is designed and to fit into a cave. Shebod b'seder hishtalshus, which comes in the seder hishtalshus, order of hishtalshus, which means order of chaining down. B'seder hadrogo, the milo mato, in orderly fashion of milo mato, that which is higher and that which is lower. ועל ידי רואה פנימי דווקא. And as a result, on the effect of the epnimi, dafka means emphatically, boyim leho l'mayla mishtalshus. This is how you come to the oil which is above ishtalshus. Again, the oil that's above ishtalshus means this is prior to the creation process. This is that which conceptualizes the creation. The creation has not yet begun. Uba'avoida, how does this reflect itself in avoida? In avoida means in our service, in our activity. שצורך לי יש תחילה או אבדה שהפיתם ודס. That first there has to be a person has to come to the point of aveda שהפיתם ודס, an orderly aveda, an aveda that has real reason justifying it, this particular activity. שהם בכוחס פנימיים, and aveda פיתם ודס is affected and it is executed to the koiches pnimim, which means the koiches that are pnimim, that are internalized koiches. Namely, moyach v'lev, the brain and the heart. The brain and the heart, these are what's called koiches pnimiyim. If you want to overwhelm, give the brain that which is it cannot process, you've given him nothing. Just like we said before in the muscle of the cup of water. You give him a whole lake of water. You've given him nothing. When is it that you give him water? When you give him that which he can process, which he can internalize, take it internally. To be part of it is not what this is about. Moyach v'lev. Moyach is that which processes intellectually, and lev is that which processes emotionally. Both in moyach and in a lev there is inifum pnimi. Like I said, in emotionally there is chesed, there is love and hate. These are actually experiences that are present in the heart. This is called koiches pnimiyim. Not it is there, but here is the phenomenal marvel, where as in through this process of koiches pnimiyim, boyim libchinas usa de liba. This is how you come to the bechina, that which has the impact on usa de liba of the plain desire of the heart. The need for moyach v'lev is not to be overwhelmed by the oil that the moyach perceives or the heart perceives. Rather, it is that it should be pnimi, should be internalized and absorbed. Internalization. Let's go back to the example of the cup, of the water in the cup. Water in the lake is water in a free flow. This is where the power of water in the worldly existence is shown. Water in the cup has no power whatsoever. What does it refer to? It refers to the essence of what is water about. Prior to its existence, prior to its power.
Prior to its existence. Why? Because it points to the intention, the kavanah.
I don't know if you need to go there. Let's try to understand the way the Rebbe presents it. It doesn't say the word kavanah. This is the oyer amiti, that's l'mayla mitam b'das. The divine reality itself. Let's pose the question. Not because this is going to explain it, but at least this will point our attention. Why did God create the world? Is it a knowable phenomenon? What's behind the creation? It's beyond knowledge, beyond reason. This is God created it, which means it has a significance. What is the significance?
Okay. Our point here, though, is that the cup of the water has some kind of superiority over water in the lake. And
1 second. Okay, because I see where you're going. Yes, but that superiority is not within proximity of water in the lake. It's not in the same measuring stick.
the water in the cup.
Yeah.
It's a different gather. So.
We can get exactly.
Okay, and that point has to do with or pnimi, yeah?
The oil pnimi reveals that level of reality.
You said earlier the kind of the goal of seichel is not to be overwhelmed by infinity, but rather to be more
Contained.
More contained. And we're saying it's in a different gather, but we're also saying it does sort of have a superiority. It does have a...
It's a superiority, but it's a misnomer.
Okay.
Because when you say superiority, you're talking within the same principle of measuring stick. But it's not in the same category.
So here we're just pointing out to this category, this element of or pnimi.
Oil pnimi reveals that tzir b'mishpoti pod.
And Sion specifically points to or pnimi.
No. Mishpot is oil pnimi. The oil pnimi will reveal the tzir. What is tzir? Tzir is that which is Lakus itself.
Somebody's asking questions. Who's that? Shlomo? Somebody's asking. Speak up, whoever you are.
Okay, I can hear you. How come I can hear me?
I don't know where he is. Reb Moshe, you're going to have to speak more directly into your phone, please. Thank you.
The way to get to Makitrin is always described as the mind of Matavadas. It's just opposite.
That's right. Okay, very good. So now we do have a minute to discuss this. Makifim is already part of the creation. Makifim Tzayvim. This is part of the. It is within, so to speak, within the revealed reality. Tzion is Sosamanella. Is above the whole union of Makifim. The whole union of the creator of the world, the reality. Whether it's Makif or Pnimi. Tzion is the creator himself. That's what we said before. Like I said, contemplate, why did God create the world? There was no solicitation from the world for it to be created. There is no justification, explanation what it stands for from a world, from a created being. It is God Himself decided to create it. Which is Bereishis Elokim. Like the Rambam says, Amit is Himotzi. It represents Amit is Himotzi. This is called the Tzion.
And Tzion has a special relationship with Mishpat.
No. Mishpat reveals Tzion.
There's no other Mishpat, which is.
There is not Mishpat. Oh, because it's Pnimi. It's Pnimi.
And it ultimately points or reveals to something that is outside of Kalim.
Points to reveal something that is true in and of itself.
You may think Mishpat works with Geder and definition and therefore just points to more definition and logic, but no, it's pointing to something that's true unto itself.
What is the highest element in the world? You know, if you go back to Halacha, there was a Kohen Gadol. There was Rosh Yeshiva, the head of the Sanhedrin. The greatest human presences in the world. And then there is a Melech. A Melech. He rules, so to speak, the world, the phenomenon. Who is higher? Who occupies a more powerful position in the world? It is the Melech, not even the Kohen Gadol. Because the Melech stands for a completely different reality. Our time is up. We can entertain more questions in this line tomorrow, Mitzvah. But I'm glad we attended to what we could have done. Have a great day.
Thank you, PALTIEL. Good morning, everyone.
Well,